to show my face. So give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Tunde Shofora. I'm the one to take you through the Oracle HCM implementation, and also to talk to the mainly whoever is interested in giving me some requirements to be able to do the implementation, because this is what it's all about. So we'll all get involved in this. My name is Tunde Shofora. Like I mentioned, I've been doing implementation in Oracle, especially HCM, which is called Human Capital Management, for the past, I would say 20 years, actually. 20 years. It's going to be 20 years by the middle of this year. So at the moment, it's just 19 years plus. And also, I've been in contracts from day one. I've not done a permanent job as an Oracle consultant. I've worked with very, very many companies. To be honest, on top of my head, I cannot even remember at all. So if I start counting, I can't remember. So, but there are quite a lot of multinational companies which I've worked for, and also foreign companies, which is what I'm currently working for at the moment. Yeah. So like I said, I've done implementation. I've done a lot of support as well, testing. Also, I've worked in the capacity of as a business analyst as well, to be able to get requirements and also to implement it as well. So before I proceed, I'll just quickly share on my screen. This is the parts. It says host disabled. Could you just allow me to share my screen, please?
Yeah, that's fine now.
Yeah, I can do it now. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Can you see my slides? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So let me start from the beginning. This is just the middle. Okay, so from day one, on my part, I've been implementing Oracle for the past 20 years. And like I said, I work in the capacity of a consultant, which is BA. Normally, BA is always the first one. And the second one is always the implementation team. I work in the capacity of implementation. And the third one is support. And the fourth one is testing, actually. And so I'll say the third one is actually testing. And the last one is always support. So somebody will ask me, oh, who stays longer in the kind of projects, maybe in a greenfield? I would say the support team, they stay longer more than the implementation team. But yeah, everybody have their own time to do their own job anyway. So I've been doing this for a while, and to be honest, it's been also challenging. Every work is challenging. There's no work you do that is not challenging, but at the same time, as time goes on, you get to know what you need to do. Oracle is divided into many, many modules, but the main module which I actually work on is actually called HCM, which is called Human Capital Management. I mean, if some of you remember human resources are the one that actually do a lot of hiring of employees, enter all the employee details, and also termination of employees. So normally we call it hiring and firing. So even though termination is not actually firing, but actually that's the kind of terminology we use. So, but I don't normally do human resources assistance where I do a data entry on employees' details. What we do is just to implement the database, which all the data will be entered. So that's what we do. Yeah, I can do a lot of data entry as well, but that's not always my job. So, but in the course of this training, we're going to do that session as well, so that you can do entries as well based on the implementation you've done, or based on just a kind of demo. which I will try to show you in the course of before we end today. I'll just kind of go, just an overview. So based on my experience with Oracle, like I said, I've been doing it for close to 20 years now. It's been good, honestly, even though challenging, it's been good. And I would say that definitely this is something that whatever you guys have done in Blue Sky Citadel, you can add this along with it. So I would say in the capacity of a business analyst, it's always good to know how Oracle works. Unfortunately, I will not teach you all the oracles. I'm talking of maybe some models which are like Oracle Financials or maybe Oracle Expense, or there's so many Oracle diversities. But the main one which we're going to be focusing on is just Oracle Human Resources or Oracle HCM. So at least it's a good thing for, especially for BA, to be able to understand how it actually works. Because when you go to a place of work and they say, oh, we want to implement Oracle and we want to recruit you, do you know how to implement it? You don't necessarily need to know how it's been implemented, but just for you to have a general knowledge is very, very important. And also they'll say, oh, please, we want to understand how this Oracle works. Please, we want mapping from our old system or legacy system. We want to map it to Oracle. So please, could you help us out? So as a BA, it will be encouraging for you to say, yeah, I can do it. So, and it's a very good thing. And also in the capacity of a project manager, whatever you've done is studied on, or maybe wherever field you find yourselves, Oracle will eventually come in. Even if it doesn't come in, at least you've gained the knowledge. So it goes a very, very long way. So, I've worked in a lot of capacity in various areas before I actually jump into Oracle. So, and I've been doing this for so many years now, like I mentioned earlier. So that's the kind of just a general, a minor overview. So if I keep on moving, so initially, when we started Oracle started like maybe I would probably say 25 years ago, or maybe a little bit more than that. I actually joined officially. I joined, I would say, in 2000. That's when I actually joined. But I was working in Barclays then, and in another capacity. So, and from there, my Barclays started introducing Oracle. That was in 2000. So, and up to 2004, I was just learning, but they did not actually implement Oracle HCM. They were actually implementing Oracle as iSupplier. So because we deal with a lot of supplies of stationery, so we use Oracle iSupplier. So that's where I actually get a bit of a knowledge. So from there, I now push into Oracle Financials and also eventually Oracle HCM. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't start until 2004 when I got my first contract. So, and and life has been very, very easy for me since then. But like I said, when Oracle first started, they started with this one Oracle is it called NCA, which is a very, very old one, very, very old. And if I mean old, it looks like this. I'll quickly show you. It looks like this, something similar like this. So, which is and some institutions or companies, they're still using this old one because Oracle are still supporting them. I believe they're paying, so they're still supporting. But this is a very old one. They're no longer implementing it, but whoever has got it, like, for example, NHS, they have this. So, and I believe they're still using it because Oracle is still supporting them. So, yeah, this is how Oracle actually started before they now move to cloud. This is not cloud. So this is more on the database. So before they now start moving into cloud, this will actually require a Java for it to work. So that's why there's a lot of work for Java people as well when we were still using this old system. So now they're using cloud. So cloud started around, I think, 2013, maybe mid or maybe towards the late 2013. So which is what we're still using now. So basically, a cloud started like 10 years ago. So, and yeah, a lot of people are moved. A lot of big institutions have now moved from EBS. We call this actually EBS, this old one. We call it EBS. They've now moved to cloud. Many have moved, but some very, very big institutions like NHS and some few companies that I know of, they're still in this very old system because they're too big to move. So they just prefer to stay in this old system. So it doesn't mean they can't move. They can move anyway, but it's going to cost them millions to actually move from EBS to cloud. So that's why some of them still using this old system. But some few companies decide to spend millions to move from EBS into cloud. So that's why for this kind of training, which we're going to be doing, we will be doing cloud. We're not going to be doing EBS because EBS will be a little bit difficult to train you guys because it needs a lot of Java. So that's where we are. Now, if you notice what I'm showing you now, before I move to the next slides, like I said, we're going to be training on HCM, which is called Human Resources. Whoever has done Human Resources before, or Human Resources Assistants, or officer or admin, you will know what it entails. When you hire an employee, you need all their details. When you hire them, they need to be in a department. You need to give them a salary. What kind of job are they going to be doing? What kind of position are you going to put them? So there's so many informations, personal information, which you will need from them, their NI, their middle name, their next of kin, their contacts. There's so many personal information which you will need. Also, when it comes to organization information, you need to know the kind of job they will be doing, or position where they will have, where you need to put them, what organization, also salary, grade. There's so many of this organization information which are very, very crucial. In EBS, we call it assignment. Assignment would be where you will assign them and what they will be doing, and also the remuneration. So those are the kind of information that you as an HR resource admin we need to enter. When it comes to their personal information, this is where you would do. You can see this old system. It says the title, the first name, father's name, grandfather. You can see family. Family actually means their last name. That's what that means. You can see their date of birth. You can see what is their age, their status, also country law. But these are the kind of personal information which is crucial. They're very, very, and also you can see it says civil identity number. That's like an NI number. So that's the which is national insurance number. So these are the personal information which you will need from the employee. And below you will see it says one of the tabs says address. You need their home address. You need to put those information in the system, their phone numbers. The assignment is what I was saying, that this will be the organization. That means where they will be working. So we don't need to go into that one. Extra information would be if some of them are, I don't know, if they're disabled or if they have a bit of a personal, something that you need to identify with them, which are personal. That's what it says, extra information. There's so many information you can actually put in that extra information. Others means some other things which you can actually create for them. And also, if I go in the middle, it says personal. You can see personal information, office details. Office details is basically just like, maybe a kind of department where they're going to be working. If office details and assignment, they actually go hand in hand. But the main place where you put more information is actually the assignment. Also the applicants, you see further name, medical, all this information are necessary. If I go to the next tab, the next tab is when I click on assignments, and you can see the next tab, it says organization, job, grade, location. So, and also position, you can see payroll, because payroll automatically means because if you have, let's say, you work in an organization and you have 10,000 employees, you can't put them in one payroll, because when you run payroll every month, some could error. So it's always good to, for 10,000 employees, you can divide them into 1,000, one payroll per 1,000 employees. So if anything errors, it's easier to manage 1,000 than for you to manage 10,000 for one payroll. So that's what I mean by payroll. So basically, in an organization where you have 10,000 employees, you need to divide the payroll. So that's what I mean by payroll. The status, active assignment means, yeah, they are active in the system. If they're terminated, so that status will say terminated. So, or if they're suspended, that status will say suspended. So that you can add as much information in this field. But remember, I'm just showing this. This is the old system. I'm just showing because all this information are also in cloud. So I'm just showing this to you. But we'll also go to cloud and maybe later on today if we have the time. So you can see the assignment number. The assignment number will be the employee number. So which will be identifiable for that employee. So you can see assignment category. So that means if they join, they'll be full-time. If some can join and they'll be part-time. So it could have different category. So also the employee category say their staff. So they could be staff, they could be agency, they could be casual, they could be temp. So all this employee category could be in different meaning. They have different meaning, but most of the employee are always called staff. So you can see salary, supervisor, probation. Probation, you know that. So that means every 3 months or every 6 months, they'll be on probation. So you can see standard condition. Standard condition is how many hours are they going to be working in a week. So for UK, I think it's 37.5. Maybe excluding or including lunch. So while some countries is 40 hours, for example, in Saudi Arabia, all those places, most of them are like 45, 48 hours per week. So that's where you put standard condition. So miscellaneous, it could be anything, special ceiling. So these are the kind of information which you need to add on behalf of the employee. And you can see the other one says additional assignment details. If you notice, the screen on the left, that is Oracle standard. You cannot add any field on this page, but Oracle allow you to go on the right-hand side to add any kind of information that will be applicable for that organization. So Oracle allows. So for example, this on the right-hand side, project manager, blah, blah, blah. These are not Oracle standard. These are what they call a DFF. So it allows you to add more information that will be specific to that organization. And with this organization, the good thing about this right-hand side field is, for example, if you work in an organization like they have, they operate in maybe, let's say, 26 countries. If they operate in 26 countries, what is applicable on this right-hand side might not be for US, might not be applicable for UK, might not be applicable for, so there's flexibility. It allows you to do different things for different countries because every information on this right-hand side might not be applicable for every country. So you can do anything you want. This is what is called DFS. So it allows you to be flexible for each country. So I'll just quickly go to the next one again. Sorry, before I leave, you can see below it says salary. This is where you add salary, entries, budget, and you see pay method. Pay method would be, this is where you will add the bank details. So that's where you add their bank details. So I'll just quickly go to the next slide. Now, that's the old system. Now, this is now the new system. The new system is called Oracle Cloud. In the Oracle Cloud, you can see what I have here. It says on-premise, infrastructure, which call it IaaS. The next one, we call it PaaS, and the other one, we call it SaaS, which is SaaS. The one on the right-hand side is what a lot of companies actually do. The one on the left means that, the one on the left means Oracle will actually allow you to manage everything on yourself, and they will only help you. They will support you if there's any issue. So the application, the data, the runtime, so everything you will manage it yourself. That's the company. The middle, the second one says, you can see the one in green. You will manage the one in green, and Oracle will help you with the one, or the one in the orange, they will help you to, they will assist you. So that means it's more like 50-50. And the one on the third one means you will do the application data and they will help you with the remaining. But the one on the right means that they will help everything. So they will help you to do the implementation. They will support you, and they will, of course, they will hand over to you, but they will do the implementation. But a lot of companies which I've worked for, they always do the one on the right. Why some of them will do the one in the second one? So that means, well, let's do it 50-50. Let's do our own database. Let's do our own implementation. But you will help us with the second one. But most of the time, it's always on premise. So they always do the one on the first one. So that means they will do the implementation, they will do their database, that's where there's a lot of job for the implementation team, for the BA team, for the support, for the testing, for the technical team as well, because this is some of this could be a little bit technical, for the technical team as well. So of course, for cloud, remember I mentioned, for the old system, we have Java. For the new system, we don't have Java. So for this new system, no Java, because it's mainly cloud. So this is where everybody will actually do it themselves. And this is where they have, especially when there's a greenfield implementation, there's so many people that will do their own part and so many consultants here and there. So that's for the on-premise. So which is where you and I will come in to be able to do a lot of these things. So let me quickly go. Now, this is, I'm not sure if you can see this, so I know it's very tiny. You can see Oracle Financial, or let's say Financial Management, Human Capital Management, CRM, which is Customer Relationship Management. These are the applications which Oracle actually offer. But for us, the one we're actually offering is actually Human Capital Management, which is the one in the middle. So like I said, they do project management, they do procurement, they do supply chain management, and also governance, risk, and compliance. So what we're going to be focusing on will only be Human Capital Management. So I'll just move to the next slide. So now, like I said, we're working only on the Human Capital Management. And with the Human Capital Management, the models that are actually under the HCM is, number one, human resources, which I've a bit of explained earlier. The second one is actually absence management. Absence management, you know what absence is all about. It's all about their annual leave, also their sick leave. It could be, any kind of leave that you can think of. Some of them could be an accrual leave. That means the entitlement leaves. Or they could be sick leave, which is not an entitlement, but some sick leave could be an entitlement because some countries, you are entitled to 20 days. Some could be 15 days, a year, sick leave. While some countries is non-entitlement, that means if you are only allowed to to be sick for 5 days. If you're more than 5 days, they will deduct it from your annual leave. So some could be accrual and some could be non-entitlement. So that's what absence management is all about. But for the course, for this model, we're going to be working on global HR and also absence management. Also, we have payroll. Payroll is where you have all the like I mentioned earlier, where if you have 20,000 employees, you need to create a payroll so that you don't have only one payroll. You can have like 5 or 10 payrolls because you have too many employees. So that's where payroll also comes in. And also, there's many things in salary that are driven by you creating elements. So most of the elements will come under payroll because some elements could be something that you need to pay them or something that you need to deduct from the salary. So they all come under payroll. So earnings and deductions, all this have to do with elements which needs to be attached to payroll. Also, we have what is called OTL, which is Oracle Time and Labor. Oracle Time and Labor is all about, you clocking in and clocking out. And also, Oracle Time and Labor is always linked to an absence as well. So Oracle Time and Labor, that means you going, you coming, basically you're always working Monday to Friday. So if you work Monday to Friday, you need to key in on Friday. Yeah, I work on Monday to Friday, which is 8 hours every single day. But if out of that particular 1 week, you take an absence, so that's why time and labor is always linked to absence as well, because you can take an absence within that particular 1 week. So Oracle time and labor. If we have the time within the space of, I don't know, 2 to 3 months, I would touch base on time and labor as well. It is very, very easy as well. Not easy to implement, but it's part of what I believe you need to know, because it's always linked to time and to absence. Now, we also have compensation and benefits. Of course, compensation and benefits is got to do with bonuses and all those remuneration kind of things, which we all have in our place of work. So, but we're not going to deal with that one. So goals and performance management, also, we're not going to deal with that one. But everything is actually in this application. If you want, you can go in and have a look. So also we have what is called Oracle recruitment. Which is called ORC. So this is where you do your hiring and onboarding. So yeah, there's so much in hire recruitment as well. So, but it's not something that we're going to touch base in this module. And also we have learning as well. So we're not going to touch base on that. So basically the only module we're going to be touch base in will be HR, absence management. If time permits, we do time and labor, if time permits. So I'll just quickly, I'm just being conscious of my time, because I've been told it's going to be only 40 minutes. So again, when you want to do your implementation for HCM, this is what you have to go through. But when we're doing it, I will actually go through that with you guys. So I'll just quickly go to the next slide. Now, like I mentioned earlier on, when in a greenfield implementation, normally it's called a project, and you can call it an implementation project. You can call it a kind of a support project or a testing project. But most of the time, if there's a greenfield implementation, all these projects always come in place, because you need to implement, you need to test, and you need to support. So all this always come into place. And in the implementation, BA is always part of the implementation, because for anybody to implement, they need all the requirements from a BA guy to be able to give them all the requirements. And remember what the BA will do. They will look at the old system to be able to hand over what needs to be implemented. When they do their mapping or the other analysis, they hand over to the implementation team, and the implementation team starts implementing. And most of the time, BA guy, they also know how to implement. I've seen that many times. I'm a BA guy as well, and I also know how to implement. The only thing is I do more implementation more than I do BA. So also there's support projects, there's also testing projects. Like I mentioned earlier, implementation, when you go for a greenfield project, depending on the phase 1 or phase 2, depending on the country, implementation team can be in a project for maybe almost 1.5 years to 2 years. Testing team can be in a project also for maybe 2 years. But support team will be in the project they can be there for the next 5 years, because they stay longer. Because if there's any issue, yeah, they either fix it or they raise an SI with Oracle. So that's where the on-premise comes in. So there is an SI with Oracle and say, oh, this is not working, fix it for us. So they kind of stay longer. So I'll just quickly jump because of my time. So what are the kind of companies which you can actually work for? You can see that I said number 1 is a service provider. There's a lot of, there's some companies, massive companies, they will rather get the services of big companies like Accenture, Capgemini to do the implementation rather than individuals to do the implementation for them. When we're doing the EBS, which is the old system, the implementation projects, they always recruit people like us to come and do implementation for them. We can be there. We can do the implementation. For the consultant, we can be like 10 or 15, we will do it for them, which is fine. But when it starts getting to cloud, they believe that cloud is a little bit complicated. They will rather give it to service provider to do it. Then the service provider will now recruit us. They wouldn't recruit us direct. They would rather ask the service provider to recruit us. So service provider like IBM, Deloitte, Accenture, you are all familiar with all these names anyway. Capgemini, they will now do most of the implementation. So it's a little bit rare for them to recruit direct. They would rather go for service provider. And Oracle always advise them to do that as well. I don't know, there's a top level advised for them to do that rather than recruiting individuals. So yeah, also like I put here, I said, who are the clients? Clients could be anybody. I mentioned NHS earlier on, Virgin Mobile. It could be any big companies, so it doesn't matter. Also consultant, I said consulting companies who is implementing the product. Also, I mentioned Deloitte, Capgemini. So number one and number two, they're almost the same anyway. So that's where you can see that out of the type of companies, individual did not come in at all. So that's why they would rather go for service providers. I said, what are the type of users? And this is where you and I will come in. It says consultant users who will be implementing the system. This will also include in the BA, even the project team and others. It could be, I mean, all the consultant could be many. BA, implementation team, even the support consultant as well. So even the testing, they all follow that consultant user. They're all there. So, and also if you notice number two, I said transactional or end user or the super user. These are the BAUs. You all know BAUs, or you call them SMEs. So these are they own the system. They will be the one to test the system. And when you finish your job, when they get rid of you, they will continue with the system because they know how the old system works, and they will, I mean, and this is where it's always coming as well. Most of the time, they don't always get rid of the support team because they need them, because this is a new system. They don't know it that much. Even though they know the old system, the new system, they don't know. So they will always retain either the testers or the support users or support consultants. And I said, also, when you're doing the implementation, you need the development environment. You need the test environment. Also, you need the products. Sorry, I think I'm almost on my time now. Also, you need the production environment. When you're doing your implementation, of course, development environment is always the one that you can do anything you want. You make mistake, you erase it. And even if you make mistake, it cannot be erased. They will refresh the system. You own the system as the implementation. And even for a BA, you own the system. So that's where you come in. But before I round up, because I think I've overshoot my time. So if you can just give me 5 minutes before I just, and then before question and answer, I
Yeah,
will
that's
just,
okay. It's fine.
oh, it's okay. Thank you. So if you can see my next screen, I said the cross-functional team. And I said functional, technical, data migration, integration. So functional team will fall under all the implementation team I mentioned. They will all be there. So those are the functional guys. They're not technical. The implementation guy who are going to be functional, the BA, they're functional, the support, the tester, they're all functional. We have the technical team as well. These are the people who are going to be doing, if there's some implementations that will require SQL or maybe a fast formula, or that will require, remember I said there's no Java in cloud. So that will require a bit of technical skill. That's where the technical guy will actually come in. Most of the time, there's more functional than technical guys. If there's 20 functional, I can assure you there will only be 1 or 2 technical. They don't need a lot of technical. Cloud doesn't need too many technical things. They don't always need them. But most of the time they just try to have them by the side in case they need to do some functional, some technical coding. They need them. So they don't always recruit many of them. Data migration. For the data migration, this is where you will need people who are going to be migrating from the old system or legacy system into the new system. that's where you need all this data migration team. They will be the one that will do the data cleansing, because remember, the old system has got good, the bad, and the ugly. They have a lot of junks there. So you only need a good one and a little bit of the bad one, but the ugly one, you don't need them at all. So they will be the one to do the cleansing. So that's where the data migration team comes in. Remember, once the data migration finish, they're gone. They don't do my data migration all the time. They only do their own job for maybe 6 months or whatever, and they're off. Integration, you will always have a bit of integration, because in the old system, they might be having some third-party providers to do some things for them. And those third-party providers need to be integrated into cloud. So you need the integration team to do that. So because those third-party will still be third-party, and they still need them, irrespective of cloud, because not all the third-party system will be mapped into Oracle. They cannot be mapped, but you can only integrate them. So that means they still need them. For example, they have worked in a lot of, especially in US, most of the time they don't like to use Oracle Payroll or Oracle Cloud Payroll. They like to use ADP. Most of you will know of ADP. It's more like a payroll system. So you need to integrate ADP into HCM. So to be able to pay them. So those are the kind of third-party system that is still required, and there needs to be integration. So I remember when the implementation finished, this integration team, some of them you need them. Not everybody, but very few of them you need them, because ADP can break one day. Integration can break one day, so you still need all these people. So that's where all these people comes in as well. So like I said, the majority of the people here in this cross-functional team would be the functional team. This is where project manager comes in, the BA comes in, implementation comes in, support, testing. There are many people in this functional cross-functional teams. And I said team size, I said implementation projects. I put 2 or 3. Of course, it's more than that. On site or off-site or offshore. So don't worry about it, 2 or 3. You need a lot. Support project, I said between 4 and 8. You need more than that. So this is a very old slide, so don't worry about that. So if I go to the next, now on this one, I'm not going to actually move too much into this. We will cover this in our next meeting. But before I round up, I will just quickly show you some. I'm not sure if I've got it here. Give me a sec. Oh no, I don't think I have it here. So let me just minimize this slides, and I will go to end show. Let me go to this one which I need to show you. Is it this? Okay. Okay. So this is, I'll just kind of touch base on this. So if you notice, I mentioned HR. This is called HR. And in the called HR, when we're doing the implementation, this is all we will need: division, business units. But I will touch base on the meaning of all this when in our next meeting. Division, business units, legislative data group, reference data group, legal address, legal entity, and also roles. And also, as a work structure, this is all we will need for work structure. If you notice, location, department, job, position, this is what is actually required for HR. So this is a kind of top level implementation, which you won't see all the time. But most of the one you will see actually based on this top level will be legal entity. But I will touch base on that and I will explain to you later. But most of the one which you guys will be familiar with, location, employee needs a location, department, what job are they going to be doing? What position are you going to get them? Grade. All these are you'll be familiar with this. And also I mentioned employee detail. This will be familiar to people who are going to be doing RN or HR resource admin. They had to hire an employee. They had to hire a contingent. And I said, you need their personal details. You need the communication details, their address, their legislative information, family contacts, employment details. This is where assignment comes in, where you add all their organization information, where they're going to be working in. So that's where employment details comes in. And also payroll details, because you need to pay them. That's very important. And if I go quickly to absence, you can see it says this is what we would need to set up for absences. Every sick leave or annual leave or bereavement leave or hospitalization leave or doctor's appointment kind of thing, you set them up. It's called absence plan. So we'll set them up here, but I'll show you what are the reasons and also the absence type, eligibility role. So the eligibility profile, I will teach you guys how to do. These are very pretty straightforward to do. Repeating period and also balances. These balances are more like balance transfer. So I will show you guys later on how to do this. Also, employment, ESS and MSS means employee self-service. Employee self-service means that this is where employee will go in and they can see all their personal details, which you have already entered in the system. You will enter it, they can see it. So it's actually an employee self-service. Also, they can see all their organization, means every their position, their grade, blah, 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 their salary. They will be able to see it in the employee self-service. So that's what I mean by ESS. Manager self-service, we also see all the same information. If there's no validation, they can see everything that the employee can see. If there's validation, that means there's some personal information which a manager should not see. Then you can put a kind of a code or a validation. So managers will be able to, will be only able to see what they should see, not things like, for example, if somebody is gay, they don't want everybody to see it. So things like that, you need to add it from the manager. So those are the kind of personal information which you need to block so that managers cannot see that. So that's what we have an ESS and MSS. If we have time, I will touch base on this as well, because this is part of core HR. So now, before I round up, and I'll keep on saying before I round up, please just give me 1 more minute. There's one more slide I want to quickly show you guys, and this is mainly for the BA guys. I'll just quickly show you. Oh, sorry. Actually, no. Let me do this from here. I think it's on this one. Now, I mentioned this earlier on. As a BA guy, when they recruit you, most of the time they will say, do you have understanding of Oracle? You say, yes, I do. HR, payroll, yeah, you say, I do. In fact, even the one you don't do, you say you do. Yeah, I do know everything. The main important thing is for you just to have a basic knowledge of how it works, so that when you now get to when you start asking the SME questions, it will be easy for you to be able to know the system. Now, I've been in a lot of places of work where I don't know the system they're using. In fact, some people might even be using an Excel to actually run their organization. Some are probably using SAP. Some might be using some other providers, which you're not even aware of. But remember, you don't behave as if you don't know. So, but that's the reason why when you sit down with the SMEs, you ask questions, because if they give you the system to start looking at, you just be looking like a Momo. SAP, I don't understand SAP. Or they give you a kind of operating system, which you don't know at all. You don't understand it. The main important thing is to sit down with them and ask questions. And it's as simple as that. There's so many questions you need to ask them. Because remember, you understand how cloud works. And based on your knowledge of cloud, that's what you would table before them and say, well, this is what we have in cloud. Do you have this? Where is it? Do you have this? Where is it? I mean, I don't need to teach you what you need to ask in BA, but that's my own experience, based on my own BA experience anyway. So, for example, look at this. Because based on my BA knowledge and also Oracle Cloud knowledge, I was able to put all these questions down. This is basically most of the questions that I need. And these are top level questions. There's still going to be more questions. So you can see, what is your project name? What's the ultimate holding? But we're still going to go much into this later anyway. So don't worry about it. So these are the kind of questions that you will need to ask them from the Oracle Cloud point of view. Now, they might not have a project name. They might not even have an ultimate holding name. Those are the kind of things which you will say, okay, if you don't have a project name, what do you have? then you will quickly, on top of it, you quickly map it. Oh, don't worry, you might not call it project name, but this is what you have. You call it whatever, but this is what it means. This is also, so these are the kind of, you can see, implementation team responses. So you ask all this question, you put the responses there. Some might not be, you might not even be able to map it. So if you're able to map it, you put the response. If you cannot map it, then that is a gap. Then you now say, oh God, this is a problem. Or your implementation team, what are you going to do with it? They might need to create it or to tell the project, I say, sorry, we cannot do it because it's not in Oracle Cloud. Because you are allowed to say no. You cannot say yes to everything. So what is no is no. What is possible is possible. So yeah. So thank you so much. I know I've shoot my time. I've got how many minutes more? 7 more minutes. Does anybody remember we're still gonna go through all this again, but it's not gonna be on eye level. We're gonna mainly the next time we meet will be the showing you how the implementation works. That's number one, and also the questionnaire, which is based on this. It's going to be more of interactive when we meet, and so maybe you just get yourself prepared. It's up to Sister Pat and the management to say, yeah, I should send all this to you now, or we should send it later. But this is more like a top level. So we have 7 more minutes. Does anybody have any question? Any
Yeah,
question?
thank you so much. I think we have a question from Fumi.
I wanted to find out what version of Oracle we'll be implementing.
The version of Oracle would be, now at the moment we're in 2024, it should be 20A, 20A, because it comes out every 3 months. So January, February, March. It should be 20A. But I will check what was sent to me because we have to kind of purchase an application. I don't know what they sent to me, but I want to believe if it's not 20A, it might probably be 23D. 23D will now be October, November, December last year. They're all the same. There's not much difference. So if it's not 24A, it might be 23D. But it's the latest one. Oracle Cloud, they enhance every 3 months. So January to March, I think April to this. Then so one will be A and B and C. That's what they do every quarter. So it's going to be the latest one.
The other question was, I know you said that we're going to build specific features, but will we build it in such a way that we'll be able to integrate other modules going forward?
If you mean other modules, you're talking like a financial slash
yes, at some
HR?
stage.
No, I don't think, definitely I'm not going to be covering HR.
No.
That's the reason why I want to integrate.
No, I said, will we build it in such a way that even in the future, we then want to integrate finance aspects onto what we're building now? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible. Remember, when it comes to financial shared business units, the shared division, I'm not sure if I've got it somewhere here. You can see divisions. That's what financial, they share, because the moments you build, let me go back to the slides, if I can quickly go back to the slides. Let me see if I can get one here. I'll just quickly, yeah. You can see, yeah, okay. You can see enterprise, division, legal entity, business unit. All these are also required by financials. The moment you build this and you go live, if the company decides to go for general ledger or high expense or anything financial in the future, they cannot build enterprise all over again. They have to use this. So that's the kind of integration. So basically they work hand in hand anyway. So
I was thinking in terms of like maybe adding recruitment or like another module entirely. So it could be finance, but then it could also be like recruitment as well.
You mean in parts of this training to do recruitment as well?
No, not part of this training. I just wanted to know if in the future, if you decided to, we're going to implement, but in the future, if you then decided to come and do another module, would we be able to do something like that?
Yeah, we
have
should.
it on, integrate it into what we're building now.
Yes, we should. We would definitely do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that question. We have somebody else. iPhone, please kindly rename and put your name. We want to know who you are. You have a question?
Sorry, I'm doing that now. Sorry, I didn't know that.
Thanks.
Okay, that's Jibril.
All right, okay. Ask your question, Jibril. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. You showed us the old format of the Oracle. You call it EBS. I wanted to know what's the full meaning of that, EBS? That's one. Yeah.
Enterprise business, e-business suits. Yeah, they call it e-business suits. So some would call it enterprise, but I would just say e-business suits.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then the second question is, in a project, when does the support team, when do they get involved? Are they part of the project from the beginning, or they get involved at some point? Because you mentioned earlier on that among other teams, like implementation team and the rest of them, the support team happen to stay longer. So when do they get involved?
Most of the time they get involved when the project is about to go live. So when there's a greenfield, of course, the implementation team are there, BA, project manager, BA, product owner, those guys will just come in first. So everybody will be scrambling their head what they need to do, how they need to do it, how they need to do the mapping, do a lot of CRP, conference room pilots. I'm not sure if they still do it. So this is where you do the implementation in the test environment, and you need to show it to the business owner or the SMEs. I say, can you see, this is your system, this is the new one. Your old system is saying A, the new one is saying, it's also saying A. This one is saying B, but this B, we can only put it in C. So those are the kind of demo you need to do. Now, remember, support team are not there at that particular moment. So all the implementation team, blah, blah, they can be there for the next 1 year, doing implementation. Now, when they now signed off, the CRP is signed up. Normally they do CRP 1, 2, depending on the project. CRP 1, CRP 1, oh, we don't want this, we don't like it. They do CRP 2, they would have improved on CRP 1. Then the last one would now be CRP 3. Everything is now improved. They show it to them, everything is smooth. They're able to understand what they're about to get, and they now sign off. When they sign off, remember, the moment they sign off, then that means you now need to put it in pre-prod environment. So which means they need to now do testing, because the first one is development. The second one now be pre-prod, which is now where the SMEs will now be doing serious testing. Now, while they're doing the pre-prod, some of them will still not understand a lot of things, because there might be some few code they don't understand. Now, this is where maybe they will now recruit a support guy to come and, there'll be testing team who will also do the testing for them. But they will, along the line, they might need support guys to be checking what has actually been tested, because the support guy, when they hand over to the SMEs, the support guy will be there. So this is where the support team will start coming in. But they won't be doing much testing, but they'll be looking. So then after the testing has been signed off, the SMEs are 100% happy. Remember, the more they delay, the more they're wasting money. So now they're signed off, it now needs to go into production. This is where the support team will be available. So they now go live. When they go live, then the support team will start supporting. The implementation team will be around a little bit, just a little bit, not not many of them. So, for example, if the 20 implementation team, by the time they go live, they will get rid of maybe 10. They will just leave 10 to be there for a little while. So when they're comfortable for the next maybe 4 or 5 months, then they will get rid of all the implementation team. Then it will now be support team. So if support team have issue, remember the implementation team have gone. Then this is why they can now raise SR. So they will fix things. If they cannot fix it, they will raise SR with Oracle. Oracle are the owner of the products. So they will know what is going on. So they will, yeah. So that's when the support team comes in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. We have another person here, Emmanuel. Your question, please.
Oh, I'm trying to unmute. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for the presentation. That was a wonderful one. My first question does this fall under ERP as well?
No, the first one is ERP, which is the one we just mentioned, EBS. They call it ERP. Most of the Oracle Cloud, they don't call it ERP.
Oh, so it doesn't fall under enterprise resource planning?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the old system that they call ERP. This cloud, they don't like calling it ERP.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So does it relate as well, like work same way with SAP Business One, please?
SAP. It should. I mean, I've not worked with an SAP environment, but it should. I mean, to be honest, if you have a knowledge of Oracle, which is what we're training on, you can actually extend that knowledge to SAP. I've not done it, but I'm 100% sure. If I see an SAP today, what I just need is the knowledge of Oracle. I will be able to extend it to SAP, SuccessFactors, whatever they call it. I should be able to, but even though I haven't seen it, I should be. Though I will struggle, don't get me wrong, I will struggle, but I will just use my knowledge because I know the concept. Once you know the concept, the process, then you just look into SAP and say, okay, what's this? I start looking for what you need to know. That's the way it works. Based on what you mentioned, I'll just quickly tell you a story very quickly. I moved from EBS, which we mentioned, to SAP, even without doing training. I didn't do any training at all. I've done a lot of implementation on EBS for many companies, multinational companies, and also UK, all this Ministry of Justice, all this DEFRA. I've worked with them. If you notice, they all use EBS before. I think many of them have moved to cloud now. But the moment I moved from EBS to cloud, because an agency called me and they said, oh, Tunde, there's a greenfield implementation. Do you want to go and do it? I said, why not? I can do it. But they didn't tell me it's cloud. I didn't know it's cloud. And I've been hearing of cloud, but I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't have a knowledge of it. But I've been doing EBS many times. So, and I moved to that company. I was starting on a kind of Monday. And immediately they said, Tunde, this is our requirement. They gave me the requirement document. And they said, start implementing in tests. Then I opened the system. It was cloud. Oh God! I said, what am I going to do? I can't move away because I don't understand cloud. But the moment what I decided to do was to start using my knowledge of EBS and start looking into. So it took me time. What could have taken me a day or two or for a few days took me almost 2 weeks because I don't understand what I'm looking at. But I was able to use my EBS knowledge to start looking into cloud. And I was able to implement for them. It's actually an Australian company, but they have an extension here in UK in Chelmsford. And I was able to implement it. But it took me time because I had to do it slowly, very, very slowly. So I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Yeah, you did answer my question. Thank you very much. Then do we need to integrate it as well with SQL for data migration? That's for Oracle.
Integrate cloud into SQL.
Oracle with SQL, yes.
Yeah, of course, there's SQL in cloud anyway. So that's what we call so if you mean, I know SQL you're talking about, is it to what do you intend to use the SQL for?
Okay, so just a little bit of relating it with SAP. So in SAP, we'll integrate, so when we want to do data migration, we'll we have to integrate SAP. I mean, sorry, SQL first. It could be TSQL, MySQL, SQL, then before we could now do data migration. So obviously, I just wanted to know if we'll be doing data migration in Oracle, do we need a bit of SQL? No.
Definitely. I believe that that's going to be my data migration team. I don't do data migration. I don't even know how they do their tables. But I know definitely I have some friends, there's a lot of integration of SQL. That one I'm 100% sure of. But on this training, we're not going to do it. So I don't do data migration, to be honest. So yeah. But there will be, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, do we need a virtual machine VMware to run the cloud for Oracle?
Virtual machine to run the SQL?
No, for the Oracle cloud. Do we need any, virtual machine or VM installation on our system?
It's just a cloud. It's just a cloud.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much for all the questions, Pastor. Today, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm inspired. But my inspiration stops at what hat I'm wearing on this project. Yeah, thank you. That was wonderful. I just wanted to touch base with the people who have registered for the program so they know what is next. And we've talked about this. Apart from the guys in the advanced team, with you, Pastor, today I think it's fine if you want to leave, but it's good if you want to, stay. It's just I'll catch up with you after.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Bye-bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you, sir.
God bless
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. So, this is part talking. So I want to share a bit of background to why we are going to be delivering this project as a waterfall project. So we need to get the more experienced hands on deck for this project. And it's not just a project for the sake of having a project, okay? And we really want people to own this one and work on it because it is work, okay? So if you are hearing about the waterfall development methodology for the first time, it's a traditional project management approach, and it follows a linear and sequential process. So there are phases as in PHASES. Sorry, I don't have a slide, but I just want to explain this, and please do try to follow. So the first phase is a requirement gathering phase, where the project scope and objectives are defined. This is where the documents and detailed requirements are collected from the stakeholders. So I will be representing the stakeholder in this situation. I will be the product owner, product manager, whatever you want to call me. Then the requirement gathering stage, the BAs would create a comprehensive requirement specification document. Okay. For the modules that have been mentioned, yes, those are the modules you would be collecting requirements from. But there's an additional module I'm thinking about, and I'm going to get back to our consultant for that to see if we can include that. So it looks like we are going to be having like 3 work streams on this project. But I believe our lead project manager on this project is Fumi Mamowura. So please identify yourself, let them see who you are, and please note that in the Oracle group, okay, in the Telegram group. Okay, and then after the first phase of requirement gathering, there's another phase where a detailed system design is done. And in this case, I'm trusting the BAs to come up with a design, a system design, the design of a system. So in the course of the project, you're going to have your your wireframes, you're going to have your process map. So those would fall under the functional specification. Now, in terms of the system design, I would expect now BAs can also be system designers, okay? If you're a bit techy or you want to be more adventurous into this area, okay, you can decide to own that area, because we have quite a number of BAs in this group. So you can decide to get creative and try to put a design together, okay? We don't necessarily have to implement the technical part of it, but look at it from the angle of, as a system, an end-to-end system, what components should go into this application that we are building. So you can start to develop your system design skills from this project. All right. And after that phase, we have the implementation phase. So this is where the configuration, the coding takes place. All right. So developers would write the code and build the system according to the specifications, and the specifications are functional, technical specification, as it may be. And we now go after the implementation, all these phases have to be signed off. So I'm just trying to bring us into the understanding of the way waterfall projects delivery works. So there has to be sign-offs, and please, all of these are going to be done on this project. We've got 3 months to deliver. So then we have testing. So the testing is where all the levels of testing are done. All right. Unit testing, integration testing, system testing. In this case, we are not integrating this Oracle application with any other application yet. So the work is going to be a bit minimal. So don't worry, you're not going to worry about a developer's code, okay? So it's just going to be testing the system as it is. So, and doing the system doing the system testing. Then in this is where the testers identify and fix defects for each of the testing phase that they work on. And they must also ensure that the system meets the requirements specified. And the test manager in this on this team is Yemi. So Yemi Ayola, I think, yeah, is she here? All right. So Yemi, if you are here, please identify yourself. So she is the test manager here. She's the test lead mentor. So she's going to be there guiding the testers on what they need to be doing at each phase. So because it's waterfall doesn't mean the testers need to fold their hands and do nothing, because it's not the agile that we know. No, we don't do that. Then there's a deployment phase, and then we move on to maintenance and all that. But first, at least we get to that stage of testing for the period that we have. Now, what are the roles of what roles do we have on this project? So we have the project manager, who is going to oversee the entire project and ensure that this project adheres to the waterfall methodology, please. Okay. It's not going to be agile. It's not going to be agile. It's waterfall. Okay. But please let's ensure we do it. This is the first time we are having to deliver a waterfall project of this size. Yeah. So please, let's ensure that we adhere to the waterfall methodology. And the reason why I'm saying that is so that for those who have not experienced it before, you have the idea. And most of the government agencies, most of them still prefer the waterfall methodology of delivering some applications. All right. So, but some of them have moved into agile and all that, but you still find most of them in the NHS, MOD, MOJ, they still have that waterfall methodology, and for some reason, they stick to it. So the project manager will develop a detailed project plan, set the milestones for us and the deadlines. The PM will coordinate and communicate with all team members and stakeholders, manage risks and issues. And we have the new interns here. We have those that are registered for ADM and those that are registered for the project management course. So you all are going to have an experience of both sides, because you're still on the mentors kids in your different project team in the agile teams. Okay, so please do not mix both together. All right, do not mix both together. Seek the guidance of your project manager, lead, and mentor here, so that you are getting it right and you're doing what needs to be done as a project manager here. So an agile agile delivery manager does what is relevant to an agile delivery manager. So you're going to be wearing the hat of a project manager when you are on this project. So I think you're having a 2-for-1 bonus in your pocket. So please make use of your opportunity. Now, and then we have the functional consultant. That is where lead consultant, Pastor Today, that is where it comes in. All right. So from the implementation side of things, he's going to show how to implement, and he's going to have somebody supporting him as a lead, so that there's some sort of coordination. So if you are looking potentially to become a functional consultant, okay, so you're going to be mentored by Mary Adewale. Okay, so she has a level of exposure to this kind of system, and she's a very good mentor. And Mary, please signify so they know who you are. You are in the she's in the Telegram group, so signify if you are here so they know who you are. And also we have thank you very much for that. That's Mary. So then technical consultant. So this person would be collaborating with the development team to ensure technical requirements align with project goals. I think unfortunately at this point, I'm going to be wearing that hat as well. And if there's anything from the technical side of things, any BH trying their hands on systems design, okay, please speak to me. All right. And product owner, I've talked about it. That's going to be me. So I will be the middle person between the business and the implementation team or the development team. And so I'll be prioritizing features and functionalities based on business value, and also ensure that decisions are made on scope changes if that occurs. And also, what else? Okay, validates that the product that has been delivered meets the business expectation. In addition to the role, we're going to have a QA tester. Okay, that is a test analyst. Those are the test analysts on this project team. So testers, there's work to do. All the trainings from the previous internship about writing test plans and all that, you are going to need to write a comprehensive test plan based on functional specification. You would conduct all the testing activities, including functional system testing, regression testing. So please get ready. And this is a situation where you are writing test scenarios before seeing a system that has not been, before seeing the system at all. So you've got work to do. And you'll be doing bug reporting and all that in addition. Within the scope of this project, you will not need to dwell so much on automation, but you are going to need to identify a regression. So you are going to need to identify regression test cases and create a regression path, okay, for this project. All right, and we have the business analysts. The business analysts will work closely with the functional consultant. You work closely with the lead consultant here, that's Mary, to understand the business process, analyze and document business requirements. So we are not saying write 20 pages of documentation. No, nobody does that these days. So, but write requirements that are meaningful enough for the functional consultant to be able to implement, okay? So all the artifacts that you need to produce or provide, yes, you can use that as supporting requirements document after you've gathered that from myself, okay? So and also you participate in the user acceptance testing to ensure the solution meets the business requirements. All right. Now, there's another important part, which I think, Mary, please take note of that. Because we are working on HR and absences, we'll also need to look at the security policies. I'm going to speak with Pastor today about that. So security policies, so we'll conduct security assessments and provide recommendations. So this is where we consult with the technical design and all that to ensure that our implementation is secure. This is a very important aspect of this application. And all of this will look really good on your CVs, on my CV as well, you know, if we can all work together to do this. So I think it would be good if, you know, after this meeting, you know, project manager, she will get everyone together and people can start, you know, doing what they need to do. So I'm assuming, yeah, we have a 3-month duration from today. Month 1, we have planning and requirements. Month 2, development and testing, because everything is in phases. And month 3, we deploy. Okay, we say we've signed off testing, we are fine. This is done, user acceptance testing done. And we write a closing, what do they call it now? End of project report, you know, we have that documentation and training done so that we can say, okay, yes, project done and we are fine. So all of these are just the responsibilities. And where we'll need the data analysts here, I'm going to have to speak with Pastor Tunde to find out if we are not migrating any data here, I think we'll still need to work with some data that would help us to use. For example, the testers will need test data, and we need to be able to generate that in a way. So that's why I think we'll need data analysts. We'll need to be able to pull some data together so we can get the expected outputs from our testing. So that is me. Any questions, anyone? Thank you. Okay, Adenike, you have a question. Yeah, thanks.
Yes, I do. Good evening, everyone. My first question is, are we going to have just one project manager, or we have Fumi as the project manager lead and other project managers working kind of underneath her or working with her?
Okay, so I will leave this to Fumi, the way she wants to structure the team. Do you understand? So
Yes.
I believe we have the ADMs and project managers here, and of course they are interns, all right? So they are meant to be mentored in this role. We are only this particular course wasn't planned for them, but we felt that it would be good to give them the exposure since they're on the program so they can practice some of the theoretical stuff that they've learned. So and of course, this platform is a hands-on program. So whatever they've learned, they will be able to practice and do, because of course they're still going to go back to do their reporting at the end of every 2 weeks. Okay, so they are going to get hands-on here as well. So I'll leave that to Fumi to structure because they're already in different project teams in the Agile group. So I'll leave it to Fumi to put that structure together on how she wants to work with them.
Okay. I have another continuous question from there. Okay,
Yep.
like for me, I came into this particular program because I wanted to explore project management, literally the
Okay.
IT part of it. Yeah, I don't want to do, obviously, we don't need a Scrum Master in this program
Yeah.
project.
No.
And
No.
I don't want to do software tester either, really here. I'm just exploring the IT part. So I don't really know how I'm going to come in now, if it's going to be just maybe for me, because I'm not on the project in the internship. I'm not in the internship. I'm going to attend the classes, the project management classes, but I don't have a team, like a project I'm working on there. So I don't really know how what will happen to me here. And the second question, this is probably for Fumi, which you've kind of answered, is that for this project now, in terms of project planning and budgeting and all the calculation costing, is this going to be done individually, or are we going to do, okay, for instance, maybe let's say Fumi ends up being the project lead and all that. She is actually. Are we going to do our own individual work, or are we going to come together as a team to plan for this project, or you go and do your own assignment and bring it, and even if you are not going to use that person's particular plan, but we are going to be able to go and do something and present it?
Okay. Great. Good question. So I'll expect that everyone here is going to be selfish in a good way for themselves. You know what you want to take out of this program. Okay. So if tasks are given out after you've completed, you've done the theoretical training, because you have access to go and attend the project management training. Okay, if tasks are being given out, all right, you need to execute your task by yourself, but of course with guidance. Execute by yourself and ask your mentor to review, or come together with the group of project managers. Everybody, you brainstorm together, look at what everyone has done, and maybe pick from here, there, and there the best part of it that everyone has done, and come up with a single one for this project. Because we are not going to be looking at from Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, you understand? So that's how it should work. You work as a team. So you're a team of project managers. Okay, you work as a team to provide the correct, the acceptable artifacts, all right, for the project. However, you need to do your work by yourself. Seek guidance if you need to, but do it by yourself. That is what will help you go out there and get this role that you want
Yeah.
in outside this company. All right. I hope that answers.
Yes, thank you. Can I just say quickly, should I contact Fumi or I should leave it to be structured? I'm just trying to make it kind of known that I would like to be part of the project managers, really. So should I just leave it to be structured, or do I need to do something? Do I need to contact anyone regarding this? Because I'm just trying to avoid me being put under the software testers kind of.
Yeah, it's fine. You speak with Fumi.
Okay,
Speak
all
with
right.
Fumi after this call. Yeah, so
All
you
right,
guys can
thank you.
agree.
Thank
Because you're both in the advanced team, so you understand. You know how you guys
you.
roll. Yeah,
Okay, that's
so
fine.
that and the interns can do their
Okay,
stuff as well. Yeah,
thank you.
sure. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome. Any other question? Anyone? Okay. Looks like everyone is happy. So I'll be expecting some sort of contact regarding the requirements from the lead consultants and BA. So I think with the BAs here, we can get one or two of them to speak with Mary, and then put the questions together. From after I'll send the recording. I'll put the questions together from what Pastor Tude has talked about, so that you get the project mandates and all that. And yeah, we can proceed from here. Thank you, everyone. Wow, two hands suddenly. All right. Olamide, please introduce yourself. I'm not sure we've met.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask about the testers part and the fact that it's waterfall. And I think Kelly the part talked about testers will not have to fold their hands. I just wanted to ask, what will the tester be doing? Is it just to be reviewing or doing walkthrough, or what exactly would they be doing on a project like this?
Speak to your test manager. I've introduced your test manager to you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Fumi.
Hi, Lady Pat. Is it possible that we get a list of the different people, their names and their roles, so we know who we're concentrating on, like who
Okay, yeah, sure.
let's say ADMs and all, so that
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. I will send them to you. All right. I think who else has their hand up? Rose. So Olamide, is that a legacy hand, or you still have another? Okay, thanks. Rose.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I've
evening.
been listening since, and actually my question is, for someone like me, I don't have a particular team or anything, and I think from what I've been listening since, this is more like an advanced program, and I'm not in the BA class or anywhere, so I don't know who do I relate with here for me to know what I need to do, or what is
Oh,
expected of me here.
okay, so you got into this thing by fate. So relate with the BAs. Relate with the BAs. I'll send the list to Fumi, and then you're going to get the list of the team members and their roles, and then you know who to relate with.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah,
All right.
cheers.
Thank you.
Jibril?
All right, thank you, Lady Pat. In terms of the meeting, I was aware before that it's going to be twice in a week, but at the moment, I think I only know of today, which is Tuesday. So I would
Yeah.
like to know if it's going to remain just Tuesday, or have you chosen another day?
Okay, so we are looking at a day that doesn't fall into the weekend. So we just need to confirm our consultant availability. So now, if a consultant can only meet once in a week, okay, the work is still going to get done. However, I would expect that once everybody knows who their team member is and you know what you need to be doing, you are going to have to arrange meetings regarding this project as well during the week. Yes. So it's
right.
not a case of unless the consultant comes, nothing is happening. No, that's
Okay.
not the case. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Emmanuel, again.
Yeah. Good evening once again, and thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, I just wanted to ask quickly, are we going to be added to a Telegram group, or is there an existing Telegram group for this, please?
Oh, there's an existing Telegram group. I'm even surprised to see you here. I don't know. I didn't know you registered for this course, so I will add you to the Telegram group.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, any more
Sorry.
questions? Yeah.
Hi, sorry, I've been trying to raise my hand, but it's not
Oh,
coming up. I
okay.
don't know why.
So, Adeyemi, so are you in the advanced group or you are an intern?
In group 4. I don't know which is advanced or which isn't.
You are in group 4, Mentors Kid 4. Okay, I
Yeah.
get you. So, yeah, you are in the internship. Okay.
Okay, so my question is simple. Is it possible we get this particular project requirement document so we know exactly what we are looking at? Something that after this call we can actually glance through and then have a proper understanding of what it is we're doing.
All right. So the BAs are going to put the requirement documents together. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so this happens out there. Okay. I think I've done like a couple of waterfall projects or so, maybe 2 or 3. So sometimes you get pulled in the middle of a project, maybe because somebody left, or you are there with them at the start of a project, or you are there with them to support the project. So it depends. And then most times when it's a greenfield project, this is a greenfield project, you're going to do a lot of waiting and chasing up for stuff. And please do it actively, because this is where you understand your patience threshold and how you deal with a stakeholder who should give you something and they are not getting it out for you. Okay, so everything is part of the process. So please just enjoy it. And if at any point in time anyone here is feeling frustrated about this, just DM me and let me know what the problem is. But I trust that you guys will be fine.
No worries. Thanks so much.
Oh, welcome. All right. Am I free to go now?
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining this program.
Thank you, Pat.
Have a good evening.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yes.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye.
Yes, bye.